Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on MNB World News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I am Batsir Namshar. Our top stories for News Mongolia. Mongolian President Khurelsukh Ukhnaa arrives in Beijing for the Belt and Road Forum. The Travel Show 2023 Tourism Expo's main guest country was invited to come to Korea. Gathering of Mongolian scientists and researchers in the USA. For the news, stay tuned. On Tuesday, at the invitation of the President of People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, the President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh Ukhnaa, arrived in Beijing to participate in the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, scheduled to take place from October 17th to 20th, 2023.
Upon his arrival at Beijing Capital International Airport, President Khurelsukh, accompanied by Mongolian delegation, received a warm welcome from high-ranking dignitaries. The Minister of Justice of the People's Republic of China, He Rong, extended greetings, as did the Ambassador, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to the PRC, Patrat, and the Ambassador, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of China to Mongolia, Shen Minjuan. President Khurelsukh is set to play a pivotal role during the Belt and Road Forum. He will deliver a keynote address on the theme Co-Building a Green Silk Road to promote harmonious coexistence between humanity and nature. Furthermore, on the sidelines of this forum, President Khurelsukh Ukhnaa of Mongolia is expected to engage in bilateral meetings with the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping.
In the first 9 months of this year, over 108,000 tourists from South Korea visited Mongolia. Experts predict that this number will continue to grow in the coming years. Furthermore, Mongolia has received an invitation to feature as the main guest country on the Travel Show 2023 Tourism Expo taking place in Seoul, South Korea, thereby further promoting the nation of Mongolia.
During the Travel Show 2023 Tourism Expo at QX in Seoul, South Korea, a Mongolian gear took center stage. This caught the attention of Korean visitors. Therefore, visitors eagerly donned Mongolian national clothing, including the dil, while immersing themselves into the rich history and heritage of Mongolia. They also gained valuable insights and had the opportunity to explore the distinctive Mongolian cuisine. This event provided a captivating introduction into the essence of Mongolia for all who attended.
I never considered visiting Mongolia before, but now, after experiencing the thrill of wearing Mongolian national attire, indulging in Mongolian pastries, and delving into the rich history and culture of Mongolia, I can't resist the urge to plan a trip to this incredible country.
Yesterday, I tuned into a TV program about Mongolia. When I arrived at the exhibition, my first stop was to visit the Mongolian gear. My son was captivated by the sight of the Mongolian gear. Stepping inside, we felt the genuine warmth and comfort it provided.
The Mongolian dil is incredibly cozy and warm when worn. Its beauty exceeded my expectations. The Mongolian pastry was also incredibly indulgent and delicious. It has truly ignited my desire to visit Mongolia and experience spending a night in the refreshing open air. I've been to Mongolia 6 times. It has got stunning nature and wide open spaces. When you stay in Mongolian gear overnight, you wake up to really fresh air and see lots of stars at night. In some places, there's no phone coverage, so you can focus on other things. But Ulaanbaatar has a big problem with air pollution. Getting around by bus or taxi can be tough in Ulaanbaatar. Fixing these things should be a top priority.
The yearly travel show in South Korea attracts over 100,000 visitors. This year, more than 250 enterprises and organizations are taking part in this event, with Mongolia as the featured guest country, showcasing its rich culture, history, and tourism opportunities.
The first scientific conference of Mongolian scientists and researchers was organized in Washington, D.C. on October 14th to 15th. The conference was organized by the Mongolian researchers in the USA and the We Together Youth and Family organization.
There is an unofficial number that about 200 scientists and researchers from Mongolia currently residing and working in the USA. 70 researchers and experts took part in the conference. They are currently working at various places such as the National Institute of Health, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and lecturing at Harvard or Massachusetts University. Researchers are those who conduct research based on evidence, then proceed to the next stage of research. Therefore, science is a basic foundation for the development of a country and all its main sectors, including the health sector. Although we are studying today, we aim to create opportunities for our future youth to learn and develop in this field, to contribute to the development of the country by using scientific research and analysis. 8 presentations and 6 discussions were presented at this scientific conference. In addition to exchanging information, scholars and researchers also shared their experiences on how to grow their careers, apply for scholarships, and get jobs. The conference also aimed to help emerging researchers advance professionally, and it's intended to help them to do their research successfully.
The conference discusses the latest major research outcomes. For example, a NASA scientist talks about the challenges humanity will face when traveling to Mars. In this way, a very interesting presentation and discussion took place, making us contemplate about what we haven't even thought about. The important outcome of today's meeting was that Mongolian researchers decided to establish their own representative society, the Association of Mongolian Scientists and Researchers Working in America. I hope their operation will expand in the future, and it will become a platform for exchanging experiences and practices with the new generation.
The first scientific conference of Mongolian scientists and researchers in the USA was organized by the We Together Youth and Family organization, with the support of the Embassy of Mongolia in the USA.
On October 12th in Oslo, a commemoration took place to mark the 55th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Norway. The event featured an exhibition showcasing the travel collection of an intrepid Norwegian adventurer and entrepreneur, Oscar Mammen. Additionally, a prestigious award ceremony for the Mongolia Studies Weekly Conference was organized as part of these festivities.
The event's opening ceremony was graced by the presence of distinguished guests, including Anders Kravik, State Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Norway, John Badzer, Ambassador of Mongolia to Norway, Hakan Glorstad, Director of the Oslo Museum of Cultural History, and Oscar Mammen's grandchildren.
Oscar Mammen was a person who was there when Mongolians gained their hard-fought independence and freedom on December 29, 1911. He wrote about everything that happened from morning until evening, like when Bogdkhang was traveling with his chariot and many soldiers. He didn't just write about it briefly, but in a lot of specific detail. He also noted how much Mongolians really want to be independent and how happy they were. Some even cried tears of joy when they finally got it. Oscar Mammen didn't just write about it, but he also took pictures to prove what he had seen. There are more than 10,000 of those pictures and writings in the Oslo University History Museum. Oscar Mammen first came to Mongolia for 6 months.
Experts or specialists from Mongolia, Norway, Japan, and Great Britain share their knowledge on different topics, including Mongolian domestic culture, trade, festivals, and the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and European countries. They also displayed photos and videos of Bogotan's accessions and enthronement ceremony for the public to view.
Well, I was raised to be an expeditioning researcher by my mother, Maria Magdalena Tatar, who used to take me on expeditions to Soviet-era Mongolia in the 1980s. Yes, when I was a child, I spent part of my childhood in Mongolia and also traveling around the world. So men like Oscar Mamen were an inspiration to me. And men like him, men and women like him, were the reason why I became a researcher myself. Even though travel is much easier these days than it used to be.
For over 30 years, Oscar Mamin journeyed through Inner Mongolia, China, Russia, and Africa. In 2017, his children and grandchildren generously contributed Mongolian-related items along with a trove of photographs and videos to the Museum of Cultural History in Oslo. This extraordinary collection comprises approximately 10,000 photographs, over 500 artifacts, diaries, letters, travel papers, and manuscripts. Ambassador Canbazar highlighted in his speech at the anniversary event that the two nations have seen significant visits at the highest levels in the past. He also pointed out the growth and progress in parliamentary collaboration as well as cultural and humanitarian ties. He emphasized that this academic gathering holds great historical significance for the future relations between the two nations.
He lived in Mongolia for many years and he was very fond of Mongolia, and as you know now he wrote about it, he took pictures, and he was genuinely interested in Mongolia and its people. So when he passed away, what he left behind was left over to my father to take care of, but it was packed down in boxes and trunks, and it was stored away.
He lived a very adventurous life. Yeah.
Yes.
And his way to document it all is unbelievable. Yeah.
He actually died in a car accident 5 years before I was born, 4 years. But I have heard a lot of stories from my father, Odd, his middle son. After we get in contact with Maria, I've learned so much more about his adventure, about his photographs, and the whole.
He also conveyed his heartfelt thanks to Oscar Mamin's children and family members for their significant role in strengthening the historical and cultural bonds between the two nations through their generous donation of a substantial collection of rare items to the Museum of Cultural History in 2017. Additionally, in 2022, the Institute of Mongolian Studies at the National University of Mongolia prepared and released a cognitive novel titled Traveling to the East, based on Oscar Mamin's notes. This work was translated into Mongolian by Maria Carvate.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you on Thursday with more news and updates. Goodbye.